This is Jarvis Leatherby of the band Night Demon, and you're watching Stormbringer, the Austrian heavy zine. Yeah!
Okay, so Jarvis, you're on a very large European tour with like about 30 dates at the moment.
Yeah.
How was it so far, and is it hard for you at the moment to like work that much?
No, not really. We do this for a living,
Yeah.
I mean, we're constant road dogs. I haven't been home since the middle of January. Yeah, we've did a month in Brazil and Argentina and all South America, and then did 6 weeks in the States with Anvil immediately after that, and then came here. So this tour is about 6.5, 7 weeks. We get about a week off in June. We do a festival in New York, Defenders of the Old. And then we have about a month off, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do. We're doing new videos for some of the new singles on the record, and then we come back to Europe late July to middle of August. So, got to keep the machine rolling. Yeah. It's just normal life now. It's just normal life.
But the funny thing is, with the two major labels in your back, like Century Media and SPV,
Right.
you're still on the road like a DIY, in a DIY sense of work ethic, not driving a big tour bus and everything.
Absolutely. I mean, we would love to, and maybe one day we will. But I think there's a lot of bands on bigger labels like that they're not the biggest bands on the label, right? So they don't have that luxury either, but they don't really go out and do it. You know what I'm saying? We've always run DIY. I mean, we always do what we do. And it's great to be on labels of that status that trust you. I mean, when we hand in our records and we hand in the artwork, we hand in the final stuff, they're like, okay, where is it? Here it is. We love it. It's never like, oh, let me hear some demos, or like, what's the progress like? Or like, they're not trying to mold us or really trying to develop us as a band. I think those days are gone. Where labels will put in a lot of money to develop a band. Like, they kind of see some talent in something and say, oh, well, we have this idea of how we can market this or where this can go, Yep. I think with today's industry and how it works, and how labels aren't making a lot of money and they're not commanding the mainstream anymore. I think that it's come to a point where you need DIY bands because we make their jobs much easier. I mean, we work so hard that it's easy. They feel proud when they do stuff for us, Instead of, the old school way is, a band just going, well, I'm an artist and this and that. And they go to the label, what have you done for me lately? What are you doing? Why aren't you doing this? Or why am I not famous or some bullshit like that? Which is, by the way, not our goal. We're not in this to be celebrities, But I think that's usually how it's been, And now it's like, it's a good working relationship with these labels because they see what we're doing, and we're going to do it regardless of what they say. I mean, we're going to go out and do it. We're not going to rely on them to make these tours happen for us. We go out and do it, and we'll play basements and garages and shit. And then the big festivals call, and we do that, And then they can easily come and say, oh, well, we're really happy with what you're doing. Here's what we're going to do. Or, I mean, we don't ask them for anything. That doesn't make sense, We don't say, oh, we're broke, we need money. Or, we say, we need them to swing the big hammer when we need it. Like we say, hey, we have a tour program coming out. Do you want to buy an ad? You sell ads, buy one in ours. Or, hey, we have an idea for this concept for this video that we want to make. Here's what we're preparing to bring to it. We have the full concept. We have this guy who's going to work on a budget. Here's how we're going to sell it. And then we get together, and they like stuff like that, So it's more of a working partnership, I would say.
And you have fun with it, being on the road. Obviously,
I do. For a long time, it wasn't a lot of fun. I think the starting is the scary part, People always say, oh, I want to sleep in my bed every night. Like, I don't even own a bed anymore. I don't even own one. I'm homeless. Yeah. Like, I'm not kidding you. I am. Like,
whenever you lay your head is home.
That's right. Where I lay my head is home. Yeah, yeah.
Now, 2 days ago, a very well-known American band called Kansas, they made a great statement about canceling all the European shows due to safety reasons.
Ooh, Kansas did that?
Yeah, they did. They had like some big festival shows coming up and some little tour, and they just, I don't know, they shit their pants. I don't know. Because I'm a big fan of Kansas, I was really embarrassed about that. What do you think about that kind of thing? Because you're touring very hard in Europe and all over the world.
This is the first thing I've heard of this. I couldn't imagine what those safety reasons would be, to be honest with you. I mean, we've in recent months we've been in like El Salvador, Guatemala. I mean, I'm talking places where when we show up, the promoter has a personal security for us that, you know, you got guys that have shotguns on them, loaded, like all visible all the time, okay?
Like police.
But they're not police. I mean, they're just fucking citizens. I don't know, you know, like untrained guys. The level of danger in places like that, they're known to be, for American tourists especially, like the most dangerous places in the world, the murder capital of the world, okay? Is it scary to go? Yeah, it is. But do we go? Yeah, we do.
Is it worth it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you see the fans that come to the shows and their desperation for this kind of stuff, you know, like, you really realize how good we have it, you know, how good we have it. I mean, we're in a bad situation with Trump. I mean, it's horrible. It's terrible. Yeah. I never would have thought that it would have gotten to this level, you know. But
I mean, this is a band who has toured the whole world also, so they got to know places and how it is there.
And they're also a legacy act. They're not like us. They're protected in a way. I mean, like, they have major contracts. They're paying taxes. They have big promoters. They have work visas and all these things. You know, it's all legitimate channels. Big corporations are putting on their shows, you know, so I don't see what that is. I think that's just, I can't speak for the band, and again, this is the first I'm hearing about this is from you, but my immediate judgment, I guess, would be that they're old, paranoid white men from America, you know, or there's something else going on that they don't really want to tell us, and they're blaming it on that, you know. But I think paranoia is setting in, and that's it. And that's all Trump and these guys want to do. They want to instill this fear into the public, just like all the old dictators used to do back in the day. They want to instill this fear into the public, and it makes them think, oh yeah, all this bullshit, terrorist attack and all this stuff.
They heard about it, but
but you got to deal with that shit. You got to deal when the thing happened in Paris, you know, with the Eagles of Death Metal show. I was in Europe at the time, and everybody's like, "Are you okay?" You guys, yeah, I'm okay. I'm not in Paris, you know. And the thing what happened in Nice last year with the bus driving through the crowd, I was in France at the time, you know. I was at Brussels airport 1 month before that bombing happened. You know, like, this shit's constantly following us around, and we're just in the right place at the right time, I guess. But if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. You can't stop the dream out of fear, you know? That's why they say the terrorists win, you know? But I don't understand why the safety of Kansas in Europe. I mean, come on. There's no.
Most of the people don't even know how they look like.
Exactly. In America, you know, everybody has guns. I mean, how can you be less safe here? Yeah. I don't get. You know, I've seen the police pull us over many times in Europe, and the conduct that they use blows my mind. It's just like it's so relaxed. Like, I would just be like, it's strange, you know. Like, I could we got pulled over in Belgium the other night. And, you know, I just went and, like, had a cigarette while the cop was talking to me. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to smoke, you know? And in America, you know, you do that. It's like you're dead, dude. You're just dead. Keep your hands on everybody, the wheel. Exactly. You know? So that's unfortunate. But, again, I don't know the guys. I don't know the situation. But my educated guess is it's old white man paranoia, you know? And it's fucking bullshit, you know? And you're not going to see any of that from us. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I just was posing this question because it's just right the opposite of the things you do, because you don't give a shit. You go everywhere.
You can't be afraid of that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, you could stay at home.
Yeah, but then, you know, you're
even there.
Yeah, right. You don't know.
Somebody could shoot you or something.
Exactly.
So come to the concerts. nothing happens. But if you're talking of social stuff, you still got the Metal Cares project. You invented that, and you still got it running.
Yeah.
Is there just once a year some raffle where you just sell shirts or something?
Well, it's mainly once a year we do a focused campaign based on a charity. Okay. But we're expanding it a little bit, and as we've actually been approached by a lot of European companies saying like, oh, we've seen you do this. Can you do this for us? Can you do this for us? Take this campaign on tour kind of thing. We've yet to do that. At first I felt bad about it, because you want to help people when they ask for help. But like, you have to also, you can't help everybody. You know what I'm saying? You have to pick your thing, and stick with that. You shouldn't ever feel bad about that you can't come to everybody's aid. You just can't, can. Right, but if everybody does their own part, everybody's fine. Yeah. That's the thing,
everybody could do a little thing.
That's what we're trying to do, And all we're doing is, again, like, I'm not trying to take a lot of credit for this as being somebody who is sacrificing their life for charity. I'm not, I mean, basically what we're doing is very easy. We're using the popularity of our name to generate income and money for people that need it. Okay? It doesn't mean that we don't go on the road and make money. We do, okay? But sometimes we do things like this where it's like, hey, let's do something cool because the fans want to buy it from us because they want Night Demon exclusive stuff. It's not that they're just dying to help some underprivileged people. They're not, I'm not saying that they don't get behind the spirit of it, but it's not. They buy it because it's Night Demon stuff. So I'm not going door to door, knocking on people's doors saying, please, will you donate to this cause? No, all I do is say, hey, here's what we're doing. Night Demon fans, take recognition. If you want to be a part of it, we're not taking any money at all. And it does something good for other people. And people get on board. And it works. And it's great. And it's so easy to do. And it's something that I hope bigger bands than us would do. I
mean, you got Siridungle on board.
Oh, yeah.
Recently, I guess.
Well, I manage Siridungle, so I make them get on. No. Those guys are really all about those causes, too, So that was cool to merge together and do that. That was something like really special and unique, I mean, I hope to spread it, I hope to franchise it. And it's kind of funny, like, how did we coin the phrase Metal Cares? Like, nobody ever thought about that before, but we did. It's our thing. Yeah. It's our thing, And we didn't copyright it. We don't own it, but it's our thing, and it's pretty cool. I mean, and I think that's something like, Metallica could probably easily do that, what I'm saying? And they would raise a lot of money. And, I know they do charitable things. I know they do, And for a business that's that big, that's a good tax write-off too in America for sure, But that's what it's all about. Like you sometimes when you're on the road this much and you're extremely uncomfortable and you're just like, and bad things happen to you and your vehicle breaks down or somebody in your crew quits or who knows, there's a terrorist attack or the weather's bad. It could be anything. Yeah. You start to think about, well, God, look at the guy on the street right there, man. Like, he has no direction at all. At least we know we're living our passion, like, and we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this, So let's help the rest of the world realize that they can do this too.
Yeah. So besides being in Night Demon, you also manage Siridungle, and you convinced them to get back on stage a few years ago, and you also play bass with them. So it's like a 24/7 metal life all the year round. Yeah. Is it?
It's crazy, yeah. It's crazy. Those guys and Night Demon are from Ventura, California. It's a very small beach town, an hour north of Los Angeles. No heavy metal has ever come out of there except for our two bands. I mean, really, and broke through at least, I've known the band for years. They've been a part of my history for my whole life, and I've always wanted to try and reunite them, and it took a long time to do, But really with the success of Night Demon, those guys were all about it, I mean, we weren't hanging out as much at home and drinking with them and stuff. Like, we were like out on tour. And they're like, where are you guys? We're like, we're gone, man. We're living the rock and roll dream. And they were like, well, we always wanted to do that. And I'm like, well, let's fucking do it, man.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it. I would come to Europe and take pictures of T-shirts, patches, fucking tattoos, all these Surathungal things, you know? And be like, here's what you guys are not involved in. You know, they always thought I exaggerated about things. And I said, no, it's real.
The people still there.
Yeah, I said, it's
waiting
real.
for them.
Exactly. It's real. It's happening. So slowly we got back into it, you know, and it basically happened as Night Demon invited the drummer to come and play some Surathungal songs at our studio. He hadn't played drums in 25 years at all. Hadn't even picked up a pair of drumsticks. Yeah. Swore he never would. He got in there, played drums for the first time in 25 years. He sounded like Animal from the Muppets, you know, just like, it was crazy, man. But he learned a couple songs, then we had him come back the next week. I invited one of the guitar players to come. I did not tell each other that they were coming, so they both showed up and like, oh, what are you doing here? Oh, what are you doing here? I'm like, okay, let's do this. And they're like, oh, this is kind of fun. I invited one other guy in. One of my guys left, and then we started to build the band that way.
Wicked.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you have to trick, you know. I mean, that's just kind of the way you got to do it sometimes, you know. But it's good. Those guys are having a lot of fun and a lot of redemption for these guys. You know, they never toured. Nobody ever respected them, especially from where we come from. I mean, really, they never did. They were like a joke in the town. It was And now they're playing in front of thousands of people, you know. So at 60 years old, well, thanks to them too.
But, of course. Of course. It takes the whole band to do it.
But it's probably one of the greatest accomplishments of my life, honestly, to be able to do it. I mean, I would come to Europe for years, and people would always tell me, festival promoters, you know, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. You're crazy. You're crazy. I've offered them so much money for past 15 or 20 years, you know. Don't even talk to me about it. You're insane. Go fuck off, you know. And I'd be like, okay, cool. We'll see what happens, you know. So here we are.
If you have an idea in your head, just do it.
That's it. That's it. The worst that could happen is you get told no, right?
Yeah, of course. Do some other stuff.
You try to get